This is Angela from Natural Living Alchemy. Welcome to my channel. Today, we are going to be making lacto-fermented zucchini relish, which is a powerhouse of natural prebiotics. So, prebiotics are basically food or supplements that contain live microorganisms, which are intended to help maintain the beneficial bacteria in your body. So basically, these are the good guys or the beneficial bacteria that can help keep the bad guys or the pathogenic bacteria under control. Now, pathogenic bacteria can create disease in the body, as well as just a bunch of other health problems and concerns. Now, before we get into making this recipe, I just want to remind you that I'm not a doctor. None of what is on this channel is considered medical advice. It is here for education and entertainment purposes only. And it's up to you to talk to your healthcare professionals before following anything that I say. So, lacto-fermentation or lactic acid fermentation uses good bacteria, and primarily this comes from the lactobacillus strains, and it helps preserve our food. Now, during this process, the beneficial bacteria, yeast, and fungi help break down the starches and the sugars in food, helping to form lactic acid. Now, as these bacteria break down sugar, lactic acid and carbon dioxide are then formed. And the removing of the oxygen is essentially making your food more acidic. Now, this process encourages the growth of more lactic acid bacteria, which will help actually prevent the growth of pathogenic or bad bacteria or microorganisms. So if you observe your ferment, you're going to notice that small bubbles are going to start to form. That is actually carbon dioxide being released. One other thing that this process actually does is it helps our food become more digestible, as the beneficial bacteria have actually started the digestion process off for you. So, some benefits that we could receive from eating lacto fermented vegetables would be an increased nutrient bioavailability. So, you see, iron, okay, that we get from a fermented vegetable is more readily and easily absorbed by your body than iron from a non fermented food. And fermented foods can also help reduce inflammation in the body, and it can help improve the barrier of your gut wall. And it can also help support your immune function because some strains of lactic acid have been shown to actually boost your immune system. They can help control blood sugar and can help improve insulin sensitivity. They may also help with weight control and can help with improved brain function. An important part of the whole lacto fermentation process is actually the use of high quality mineral salt. Now, I like to use Celtic gray sea salt, but you could also use Baja Gold mineral salt or just any high quality mineral salt that you can get a hold of. And it's actually the salt that helps prevent the pathogenic or bad bacteria from growing and taking over your ferment. Let's just talk briefly on canning versus fermentation when we are talking about food preservation. Now, fermentation is a wonderful way to actually preserve your foods. Now, it does have some very key differences to canning, which I think is a more popular way of preserving our food. So, the canning process uses heat, and that is essentially cooking the food and then killing any harmful bacteria or organisms that are going to keep your food safe. Now, the thing is this heat process also kills some of the key vitamins and nutrients that you may be looking for from your food to provide you. So, fermentation is just using good bacteria to prevent the growth of microorganisms. It's not using heat. Now, I'm not saying that one method is better than the other. I'm just saying that both will have a time and a place. And I just wanted to let you know that there are some differences between each process. So that's the difference between canning and fermentation. But what about pickling and fermenting? What are the differences there? Well, fermentation uses natural and beneficial bacteria for preservation. Pickling uses acidic substances such as hot vinegar, brines, and heat for preservation. And this method will produce a less nutritious end product. But again, each of them definitely have a time and a place. Now, before we get to the super simple recipe, I just want to invite you to check the description box below this video. And in there, you're going to find a couple different things. You're going to find a full written blog article link. in there that's just going to go into far greater detail about the stuff that I just shared with you. And you're also going to find some products that you can use just to help start off your lacto fermentation journey. Keep in mind, they're not affiliate links at this time. These are actually just products that I use. Now, there is one final ingredient that I just want to touch on that we need for this recipe, and that is raw honey. Now, raw honey naturally contains a whole plethora of antioxidants, minerals, vitamins, wild yeasts, and enzymes that your body really, really loves. And during the fermentation process, the beneficial bacteria are actually going to feed on the sugars in the honey, helping to produce more of that lactic acid. Now, since honey already contains a lot of its wild yeast and enzymes, it's very effective when combined with lactic acid, and it becomes an extremely beneficial and effective preservation method. But we need to make sure that we are using raw, unpasteurized honey. And honey also contains antimicrobial properties, which can also help keep the pathogenic bacteria at bay while we're fermenting. All right, so let's just start putting this together. So we are going to have to begin by grating up some vegetables. So in this, we are going to be using one pepper. Once we have all of our peppers grated up, now we are going to grate our zucchini. So to make this lacto-fermented zucchini relish, you're going to have to grate up. Now you can do this either in a food processor or an actual grater like I did. I just didn't think you wanted to watch me grate two zucchinis and a whole pepper. So I like to use these long skinny peppers that I get from Costco. They're a little bit sweeter than bell peppers, but bell peppers are definitely delicious in this recipe. So once you have them grated, however you want to do that, you're going to want to add some mineral salt. So we are going to start by putting in 1 tablespoon. Actually, you have a choice. We are going to be putting in 2 tablespoons in here because I'm only using salt. If you were going to be using whey for your starter culture, and I will definitely have instructions in that blog article on how to do that, but basically you would only use 1 tablespoon of mineral salt and you would need 4 tablespoons of whey. Okay, I just used the 2 tablespoons of mineral salt because I am currently out of whey. So the next thing that you want to add is you want to add your raw honey. Now we are going to be using 1 tablespoon. Okay. Now just keep in mind that honey doesn't like metal, so we're going to try to definitely be using plastic when possible here. I probably do need to find a different container for my honey so I don't have to keep scooping it out of this 2-liter pail, but here we go. Now you just want to very carefully mix up your honey and your salt in your grated vegetables. And what we're going to then do is just allow it to sit for about 10 minutes. And we're just going to allow the salt to just bring out the natural water out of the zucchini. Okay, so we have been resting for 10 minutes, and I can see there is a lot of liquid that we have that has been coming out of our zucchini. And this is perfect. So what you're going to want to do next is we're going to add some spices. Okay, so 1 tablespoon of mustard seed. We are also going to use 1 tablespoon of dill seed. And then to that, we're going to add about 4 tablespoons of fresh dill. And then I just kind of like to give everything a mix while it's still in this container before I transfer it into the jar. So once everything is all nicely incorporated, you're going to require a clean, sterile mason jar. Perfect. So next, what I like to do now, if you did not have enough liquid that was going to be covering your zucchini, you would just want to add enough filtered water so that it covered. This is enough. So I don't need to add any more water into mine. So what I like to do is take a piece of lettuce and just place it over the top like that. And then you're going to want to place a fermentation weight. Mine's a spring, it does the same thing. And this is going to just make sure that everything stays below that water line. Okay.